Hello and welcome everybody to the We Only Do One Take podcast. It's the only podcast in the world that Turch always forgets his drink in the other room and is a complete shit show. As I said, I am Turch, and with me today is my co-host, the CEO, the funkle of the group. It's Kieran. How are you, buddy?
I'm very good. Go get your drink. I'll keep these guys entertained while you go get your drink. No, this is why I'm the CEO. You know, this is responsibility. If you're a leader, you have to be responsible. Responsibility is the name of the game. That's what you need. And in record time, he has his Coke.
I just went to the other room to get my drink, and Jess goes to me, "Hey, you want to watch Caddyshack?" I'm like, And she goes, "Oh yeah, you're recording." This is live.
Hey, you want to watch Caddyshack? Go watch Caddyshack. I've got this. For the next hour, I've got this.
All right, well, let's start it off then, Kieran. Have you got a rant for us?
I've got a few things.
I've got a few things.
I'll
let you go.
Every now and then we do a rant, right?
Yes.
Actually, let me rephrase that. We always do a rant, but every
do.
now and then we have a compliment, and I want to compliment society.
Okay.
I had to do some Christmas shopping today.
Well done. How'd you go with the Black Friday sales?
Fucking terrible. So many people. Just, oh my God, kill me. But,
This is the compliment, right?
everyone stuck to the left on the escalator.
That is...
Twice.
I don't even know how to say this, but that's very amazing.
I was shocked. I was like, whoa. So, society, well done. They're obviously listening to the podcast.
I was going to say, I think I ranted about that like a year ago.
Yeah.
One of our first episodes.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that in the 2 or 3 years we've been doing this, something has changed.
Yeah,
for the
that's right.
better. For the better.
For the better. And for me, a few weeks ago, you were talking about between now and April is the time of...
February. It's a season of obligation.
Season of obligation. My season of obligation has begun.
Isn't it the worst?
No, it's great because I've decided I'm not driving.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get through it.
So basically your season of obligation...
through drinking.
Your season of obligation is your season of inebriation.
Correct.
That's a pretty good way of going about it.
Correct. I made this joke. So I'm with these people. I actually don't know some of these people, right?
This is always, every time you tell a joke, it's with people you may or may not know.
Yeah, anyway, shut up. I want to roll. And they're making small talk or whatever. Small talk's hilarious as well. If you don't know these people and you know that it's going to be uncomfortable, you can ask the most ridiculous questions. Anyway, this 40-year-old or 50-year-old, I don't know how old she was, right? She was Spanish, right? She was younger. She looked younger, but she was older. I knew she was older. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
I didn't even say anything.
You looked at me. Now, she goes, right, "What are you doing for Christmas?"
Okay.
But she was talking to this other guy, and I just sort of had to just smooch my way over, right?
Smooch your way over.
Yeah, smooch my way over.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you were making out with smooching?
No, I just made my way over, right?
All right.
I wonder how many times I've used that word in context, and I've never been pulled
know.
up on it.
I don't know.
Anyway, she goes, "What are you doing for Christmas?" But addressing this other guy.
Yeah,
Let's call him Frank.
Yep.
But I'd chip in with surviving.
That's good. Good joke. Fantastic joke.
But they both didn't know me. And so they
thought you were on suicide watch.
Yeah. And I was at my mother's 60th as well. When I said that. So they're like, "Oh, is it that bad?" Which I was like, "Come on, that is a great."
It's a classic.
That is a
classic bit of jokes. Yeah, classic joke.
Like if you were there, you would have laughed.
I would have just been like, I understand completely what's going on in this side of the fence. It's amazing.
I know. But Turch, I've got a gift for you. This isn't a rant.
This is not a rant.
But I'm very excited.
Excellent.
You got me a gift a while ago.
Well, I got you a New Year's gift. I think
Dr.
a Christmas gift. I think it was. That's right. It was very exciting. It was a bit of effort to get that gift, and I finally got one. And that now officially is your golf hat.
It is my golf hat,
which is very exciting.
We're gonna play some golf.
We do have to play some golf.
We should do a We Only Do One Take podcast golf day.
Okay, I'm in.
Let's organise it
as
for
the CEO.
March.
As the CEO, you should organise that.
I think March.
Okay. And we can invite like all our favourite guests.
Yeah, one of those public holidays.
I think we could book something in like that.
Yeah, all right.
Or at least a driving range experience. So
yeah, I'll arrange it.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's going to haunt me now because you've got that on record. Turch, I want to ignore the Christmas wrapping.
That's fine.
I want to give you a gift.
Okay.
It's not a Christmas gift.
No, it's a birthday gift.
It's yeah.
Or is it just a gift in general?
It's just a gift.
Okay, I'm going to count this.
But I want you to read 3 of them out on the show.
Read 3 of them out. Okay. Well, look, I'm just going to explain what I've got here. It's a Christmas wrapping paper over something that looks like a Chicago Bulls logo in the shape.
Like, beautifully wrapped it is.
It's beautiful. It's great. It's fantastic. Very exciting. I'm going to give it a shake next to the mic. I don't know if people can hear that.
I want to just pause you.
Yeah.
Last week I was at work.
Yeah.
And my stepmother was making shortbread.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, I've got to take something in."
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'll make you some shortbread." And
Done.
I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Anyway, she finished it. She goes, "Oh, do you want me to wrap it?" And I was like, "Oh, look, I'll do it." But she's like, "Oh, no, I'm doing a whole bunch. I'll wrap it for you." And I said to her, "Can you wrap it
not at perfect?
Not how you would wrap it. Can you like wrap it so the work colleagues think that I've wrapped it?" And she was like, "Sure." So she wrapped it beautifully. She put a bow on it. She put sprinkly shit on it.
Yeah. And
I was like, great. Now everyone knows that I didn't do this.
You could just say you made it and someone else wrapped it for you.
No,
but
I turn up and I'm like, my stepmother ruined this. And they said, what? I'm like, well, she look how she's wrapped it. I clearly wouldn't wrap it like this. Anyway, I've wrapped.
Definitely. Can I take a photo of this and post it?
Yeah.
That's some...
It's all right. It's not great, but you know I've wrapped it.
All right, look, I'll take some back and forth of it. There you go. You can see my disgusting hand in the photo.
That is, and I've been.
Well, I'm going to open it up now.
Environmental, because that was discarded wrapping paper as well.
I'm very impressed. You know me in liking the caring about the environment 110%. So I'm opening it up now. You can hear it on the show. Oh, that was a good. That sounded good.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what this is, which is good because I don't like. Okay. So what we have here, I'll give it some ASMR. People really the people are going to cream themselves when that happens. Yeah. And speaking of creaming themselves, what I've been given here is a box.
Yeah.
And in the box is 100 seriously crap jokes, and I'm very excited. You said I have to read a couple of them. I'm opening up the boxes as quick as I can. There's so much. You said you used discarded wrapping paper, but inside the box is
more plastic.
Is more plastic than you can poke a stick at, and that's what's very exciting. I don't even have a pair of scissors around. Oh, here we go. Right.
I was gonna say it's pretty thin plastic.
It's pretty thin plastic. It's all good. So, what happened when I called the receptionist to call me a taxi?
Hang on. I don't know these, so...
It's not a question. It's not Jeopardy. They shouted, "You're a taxi." Okay. What happened when the scientists tried to make a diamond from a duck?
It shat?
It quacked under the pressure. And the final one. What did the playing card wear to a wedding?
A suit.
A suit. Well done. All right. Look, these are fantastic. Maybe I'll sprinkle a few more in as the show goes on, or when we have our comedian friend here. I've actually what you've done is you've given me all the jokes I need to beat you at the comedy competition next year, and that's the important.
But you read them out. Give me one. Oh, you read them out as if they were boring.
Okay.
I'm going to read this one out as if it was funny. All right. I just want you to know the difference.
Okay.
What's the heaviest soup in Asia? See the enthusiasm there? What's the heaviest soup in Asia?
What is the heaviest soup in Asia?
A wonton soup.
Oh, god damn it. I think my enthusiasm was just the right amount of enthusiasm for all these jokes. But thank you very much. It's a very exciting birthday gift.
So I don't really have a rant.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get that out of the way. Do you have a rant?
I do have a rant. And it leads me into something we're going to watch. And we're going to enjoy.
Excellent.
There's 2 things that I hate, and one's going to come in another episode because I want to do the research. Mm-hmm. But this one here is less of a research and less of just, I found something that shit me up the wall.
Right. Where is Epstein's ex-wife?
No, I don't care. I don't care. I want him back. I want Hillary Clinton to go to jail. That's what I want. But one thing I hate is the fat acceptance movement. Right? Okay. This is not where you thought this was going. Not even close, right?
No.
Okay. So I was stumbling around Facebook recently, and I found someone posting about the fat acceptance movement. Now, do you know what the fat acceptance movement is?
I don't know what the fat acceptance movement is.
Okay.
Can I guess?
Okay. Yeah.
It's a group of people who are fat.
Yeah.
And they accept that they're fat.
Yes, they accept that they're fat. That's fine.
And they're in a group.
Yeah, that's good. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to change people's perception. They're saying fat people are just as healthy as...
No, they're not. They're costing the society, us taxpayers,
just
money.
Just as healthy and accepted and this and that as not fat people. In fact, because they're fat and because the medical industry and people just don't want to date them or don't want to do this or, say that they have more medical issues, stuff like that, they're saying that they're actually a marginalized group.
Right.
And what they're trying to do is much like everything else. They're like, no, fat is part of my being.
Mm-hmm.
I can't change that.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept me as I am.
Mm-hmm.
Which is all well and good until the part is, no, you can 90 to 95% of the time, unless it's some real medical issue that you have. People just accept fat people in general. Doesn't mean you have to go on dates with them, but if you're working with a fat person, you just work with the fat person. And two, no, you can definitely help your own weight by dieting, exercising, putting in the hard yards to maintain your body in the best way possible.
That's right.
So, it's plenty of way. So what these people try to do is say, no, we're not going to do the hard work. You just have to accept us as being super duper fat, and that's it.
All right.
So, I found this thing.
So we're watching something.
We're going to be watching something. And so this is a post by the Anita's Hall of Social Justice and Intersectional Feminism from the University of California in Berkeley. So I'm going to read this out. It's a bit long, but if it's too long, that's okay. We'll go to the video, because the video is the second thing I hate more than anything else. All right. And I'll explain that it's not just fat women in videos. It's something else that's going to change. It's going to continue on. So I'll just read it out.
So if you're driving a car and you're about to park your car,
that's all right. No, because you
take a right-hand turn and do some laps.
Why all women should gain weight and become true feminists. Okay, already I have so many issues. So only fat women can be feminists from now on. That's the way it goes. This person said, I attended a fat acceptance feminist TED Talk conference featuring Australian fat acceptance activist Callie Jean Drinkwater, who also self-identifies as a medical expert in the field. Are you having fun yet?
I've got so many issues. So many issues.
Who on many occasions have proved that being fat is healthy and society needs to change to accommodate healthy obese. She's brave, and before I thought I knew everything I was to know about the fat acceptance science after reading all the right pages on Tumblr. But the story she
the right pages on Tumblr?
Yeah. No medical literature, and the self-identified medical expert says it's okay. She's brave, and but the story she told really had me in tears, particularly the part where she said the staff at Sizzler actually used to hang a closed sign in front of the door and bolt it shut every time her car pulled up in the parking lot. Once they found it was illegal not to allow her access to the all-you-can-eat dessert bar. Okay, and this is apparently a quote. The Sunday machine was never operational. The staff switched off when I walked in. I know they did. They used to say it was on a cleaning cycle, but I didn't believe it because there were all bowls of chocolate around it, so that were also missing. No free cheesy bread for me. They wanted me to pay for each item I ate. I mean, what? Do they think I'm made of money or something? So this is continuing on in the post. People should note that there is a large divide large divide
Yeah.
among fat feminists over those who identify as trans thin, and being in a previous post in my page below, and those who identify as being fat and proud as a traditional fat acceptance feminist. Fat acceptance feminists don't accept the condition of trans thin, which is people who think that they are thin, even though that they're fat.
Right.
Are exclusionary to their cause, also known as FAEFs, or Fat Acceptance Exclusionary Feminists.
What the what?
Okay. Is this blowing your mind of how stupid it is? Okay, so I'm not going to read anymore because it goes on and leads into the video.
I'm confused.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
I'll put it in very simple terms. There are fat people.
Yeah.
Part of this fat acceptance movement.
Yeah.
That know that they're fat.
Yeah.
And just go, I am fat, fuck you.
Fair enough.
Which
Good
is
on you.
fine.
Which is, I have no problem.
But are blaming society for not accepting how fat that they are.
Yeah.
But there are also trans thin people who are fat but believe that they're thin. Mm-hmm. Both think that their lifestyle of being morbidly obese is healthy.
Are they at war with one another?
And they're at war with one another.
Ah.
So, first of all, this whole acceptance movement is not for fat people.
It's for Sizzler.
No. You know what? If someone has grown up and later on in their life they're in a car accident and then suddenly they don't have use for their legs, right? And then we say, you know what? That person still deserves to have a good life and get back to work, education, all that sort of thing. And that's what that's what the acceptance movement is about. Mm-hmm. It's about people who are disfigured in some way that in ancient societies would not have had a good life.
Correct.
Okay? So, therefore, actual people who can't change the circumstances, like people with Down syndrome, or people with, multiple sclerosis, or, you know what I mean? Like, or
whatever it may be.
Yeah, losing an arm, or born without a limb or something. People are like that. And these fat women have just come along and go, yeah, and people need to accept us too. And it's like, well, actually, wait a second. That's not the case.
You may have.
I think maybe put down the chocolate bar and get on the treadmill. Like, there's a little. It's something you can do. This person can't grow an arm back.
No, they can't.
Or this person can't be unburned.
Yeah.
Or this person can't be, cancer's very hard to get rid of, and it's not their fault. But you definitely could put down the chocolate bar and get on a treadmill a couple of times a week, and you might be okay. And they're saying, no, that's not the case. So, that's something I hate. The fact that the acceptance movements for people who really need the help have been hijacked by fat women.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fair thing.
But where does the feminism come into it? Why is the feminism in it?
Because they think that the world is only against fat women, not against fat men.
Oh.
Nonetheless, that woman couldn't get into Sizzler, that's fine. This takes me to the second thing I hate. And the second thing that I'm going to rant about today.
Piss driblets.
No, we talked about that. Dweezil helped you out with that today. But it's TED Talks. TED Talks began and they were fantastic. The first year or two of TED Talks were fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And even the first 4 years.
Yeah,
of
whatever.
TED Talks.
A couple of years of TED Talks. And then they decided, you know what? This is just a format. Instead of having it just in Berkeley or wherever it was and having just the best people come, it's like, hey, you can use our name, call it TEDx, and you can have whoever you want. And they're like...
Well, TEDx is independent.
Yeah, independent.
Of TED.
Oh, there you go. So
that's why they call it TEDx.
There you go.
So we could actually run a TEDx.
Well, this is the new Tallow. You're welcome to the TEDx podcast.
we could run our own TEDx.
So... I thought to myself, you know what would be fun if we watch a video of one of these fat acceptance women who did a TEDx talk.
All right, let's do it.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
Okay, so this video is about 12 minutes long. We can pause it at any time that you want, and we can have a discussion about anything that you want. So here we go.
And for our viewers at home, listeners at home, the intro is playing.
This is not... Okay. So remember in that article I was talking about, like that woman said that, I went to see this woman. It's TED Talk. This is it.
Okay.
Do you want to describe what she looks like?
She's fat.
She's real fat. All right, let's go.
I'm here today to talk to you about a very powerful little word, one that people will do almost anything to avoid becoming. Billion-dollar industries thrive because of the fear of it. And those of us who undeniably are it are left to navigate a relentless storm surrounding it.
She's already tired. You can hear her, like, she's walked out on stage, and you can hear her go, welcome to my... She's already out of breath. Continue.
I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but I'm fat. Not the lowercase muttered behind my back kind, or the seemingly harmless chubby or cuddly. I'm not even the more sophisticated voluptuous or curvaceous kind. Let's not sugarcoat it. I am the capital F-A...
Well, she's been sugarcoating everything her whole life, it seems. Are you more accepting of fat people yet?
I've always been accepting of everyone.
T kind of fat. I am the elephant in the room. When I walked out on stage, some of you may have been thinking, this is going to be hilarious, because everybody knows that fat people are funny. Or you may have been thinking, where does she get her confidence from? Because a confident fat woman is...
I was thinking, where does she get her moo-moos from? Straight from Homer Simpson. You know what? There's nothing. She's like, where did she get her confidence from? I think it was what's her name now? Chris Brown sketch. It's like, there's no one more confident than a big black woman. Like, I keep thinking of the Weather Girls, like the thing that's raining men. I'm like, they're like, it's raining men, hallelujah, because we're gonna fuck all the men. She, on the other hand, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Almost unthinkable. The fashion-conscious members of the audience may have been thinking how fabulous I look in this Beth Ditto dress. Thank you very much.
It's a fucking moo-moo.
Where some of you might have thought, black would have been so much more slimming. You may have wondered,
right,
consciously or not.
It doesn't matter your body size for a female, right? Females are going to criticize you regardless of your body shape.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even going to bring that up. I'm just having fun looking at her moo-moo. She had the hat on that Homer wears. She would look like when Homer got up to 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And having a good time sitting at home at work with our little friend up there clicking the Y button.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But you're right. Like, a woman at any size, thin, thick, whatever you want to call it, is going to criticize you.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be criticized for whatever they wear.
If I have diabetes, or a partner, or if I eat carbs after 7 p.m. You may have worried that you ate carbs after 7 p.m. last night, and that you really should renew your gym membership.
I gotta admit, seeing people like this talk on stages wants me to go on a row machine or do something. I look at that and go, I'm never going to get to that.
What's her point?
All right, let's keep on.
These judgments are insidious. They can be directed at individuals and groups, and they can also be directed at ourselves. And this way of thinking is known as fat phobia.
Oh, shit.
Like any form of systematic oppression, fat phobia is deeply rooted in complex structures like capitalism, patriarchy, and racism.
Okay, Kieran.
Oh, what? Rooted in capitalism.
You know what? Without capitalism, there's no way she could get that fat. Because socialism would not have given her enough food to get to that stage. I was listening to something recently, And a bunch of like uni students went to like socialistic countries, or talking to people from socialistic countries that have migrated to the US or something like that. And they're like, yeah, we used to get a ration of food a day, and whatever you got, you had to eat. And they're like, oh, so what if you were vegetarian or vegan? And he goes, what do you mean? Whatever you get, you eat.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
you don't get that choice.
Yeah, it's not like a socialistic paradise. So it's like, oh, the vegans will get exactly a vegan food, this, that. It's like, no. Some days we're going to have to eat rabbits because there's no more food left.
Or rats.
Or rats. Like they are, or dogs like they're doing in Venezuela. Because that's the way it is. Capitalism is definitely helping this woman be as fat as she possibly can. And, she's racism.
Yeah.
And that can make it really difficult to see, let alone challenge.
I don't know, we can see you all
the time,
We live
in a culture where being fat is seen as being a bad person. Lazy, greedy, unhealthy, irresponsible, and morally suspect.
See, it's not bad person, it's just greedy. Those aren't bad things, those are just bad traits.
My problem here is the generalization to society.
It's pretty bad.
It is a massive generalization.
This is a beautiful victim. Like, she's like, I'm a victim I'm fat because society has made me fat.
It's sort of this, you've got this warped image in your head. And you need many, many years of therapy.
Okay, good. I'm glad that a psychologist has said that, not just the accountant.
That is many, many years of therapy. I'm pretty sure the majority of people don't give a fuck whether you're fat and aren't actually most people are worried about themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
shall we continue?
Be a nice person.
Yeah, exactly right.
Just be a nice person.
So hard. All right.
And we tend to see thinness as being universally...
I'm saying be a nice person while we're criticising her. No, we're criticising the ideas.
That's right.
Yeah, not the person.
I'm making the fat jokes.
Yeah.
Responsible, successful, and in control of our appetites, bodies, and lives. We see these ideas again and again in the media, in public health policy, doctors' offices, in everyday conversations, and in our own attitudes. We may even blame fat people themselves for the discrimination they face because, after all, if we don't like it, we should just lose weight.
And that's where the TED Talk should have ended.
Okay, wait, 1 second. A doctor has an obligation to its patient.
I would hope so.
Right. And if I'm your doctor, hypothetically speaking, right, and you're not fat,
no,
right, but I go to you or something like that and I say, look, you've got a little bit of excess fat there,
yeah,
and if you don't get rid of it, you're likely because of blah blah blah. So I would recommend, or you know what, your cholesterol's high. May not even be related to how fat you are.
No,
but your cholesterol's high. You need to exercise. You need to
change something in your diet. Stop
behavior.
Less soft drink, less whatever.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm sure my doctor. I love it when you go to the doctors and they're like, "How many alcoholic beverages do you have in a week?" And you're like looking at it and go, "Well, during the weekday it's nothing, and then on Saturday, 42." Okay, so you technically are an alcoholic, but you don't only have it one day a week. So,
the doctor has, and it's pretty well known that if you carry excess fat, right, standing up, going to put more pressure on the joints.
Yeah.
More fat around your belly or the different types of fat is likely to lead
your body has to work harder and harder and harder. Your heart has to work harder. Yeah. Your lungs have to work harder. But in a negative way, because they're just trying to keep up with all the additional fat your body has.
So your doctor has an obligation.
Yeah.
To tell you this.
Remember, she's a self-confessed medical expert on fatness.
A doctor is not doing its job. Right? If it doesn't tell you this information. There's times when you go, I don't want a doctor to tell me this information. It's much better if I was ignorant.
Yeah.
But it's not going to help me in the long run.
I'm glad we're on the same page. This is actually scary.
Do you know what? I'm accepting of people with cancer, so I'm not going to tell you that you have cancer.
Yeah. It's okay. Cancer's completely curable. No, your cancer is not going to make you unwell.
Easy. This anti-fat bias has become so integral, so ingrained to how we value ourselves and each other, that we rarely question why
All right,
we have
pause.
such contempt.
All right. You're tall. You're
Yeah.
really, really tall.
Yep.
And you get
Thank
on
you.
an aeroplane.
Yeah.
What does a really, really tall person do?
They probably have to duck underneath to get into the plane, or they have to use. They haven't got not enough leg room.
They probably buy more leg room.
Yeah.
That's a form of discrimination, right? Maybe how she's going to argue. I don't know, right? They're really, really tall.
Yeah.
The shorter you're short,
Yeah.
you sit in an economy seat, you've got all the leg room in the world.
Yeah, as much as
you're comfortable.
Yeah, more comfortable than a tall person.
More comfortable than me because I'm taller than you, and if I was really tall, I would be more comfortable than the really tall person.
That's right.
So what do they do? They might generally buy more leg room.
That's right, but you know what? That extra expense, yeah, it's annoying, but otherwise everyone would just do it.
Yeah, right? She's fat.
Yeah.
If I have to sit next to her on an aeroplane,
I'm very upset.
I am very upset.
Yeah.
Because I have purchased my seat.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to be comfortable or whatever, don't buy the 2 seats.
Shall we continue?
Yeah.
That's capitalism for you.
Size, and where that disdain comes from. But we must question it, because the enormous value we place on how we look affects every one of us.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. Do you remember Karl Stefanovic?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wore the same suit every day.
He wore the same suit
Yeah.
every single day. And it wasn't until he pointed it out to everybody did everyone take notice. Which just proves that no one cares. Guys and girls don't care what guys are dressed as.
Yeah.
But if the woman did the same thing... Have you ever seen that video footage of the 3 women that all dressed in white on the news thing?
Yeah. And they're telling them to
and
get
they're telling
changed.
her, go get changed. Go, no,
Yeah.
we haven't got time, this and that. I think that only women care about what people wear.
It's all perception.
Exactly right.
It's all perception.
I think that if we were living together, or we were housemates, and we wore the exact same thing every day, except for the one day we did washing, I think that we would be like, oh yeah, we don't care. Whatever. Like even to work.
I would actually prefer to wear the exact same thing.
Like a
every single day.
jumpsuit. Like if you could, like those
a jumper, jeans, runners.
What?
Done.
But like in the future, they're like, oh, everyone wears the same thing all the time. It's like, how convenient would that be?
And do we really want to live in a society where people are denied their basic humanity if they don't subscribe to some arbitrary form of acceptable? So when I was 6 years old,
Yes!
my sister used
Pause. Wear whatever you fucking want that makes you happy.
We need to do more episodes like this.
You do. Number one, your job is not to make everyone happy. If you're trying to make everyone happy, your life's miserable. People are going to criticize you regardless. Wear whatever. She needs the years of therapy. Wear whatever you want.
I think we're going to get over this point because we're going to suck at this for a while. Anyway, here's the story about her past.
ballet to a bunch of little girls in our garage. I was about a foot taller and a foot wider than most of the group. When it came to doing our first performance, I was so excited about wearing a pretty pink tutu. I was going to sparkle. As the other girls slipped easily into their lycra and tulle creations, not one of the tutus was big enough to fit me. I was determined not to be excluded from the performance. So I turned to my mother and, loud enough for everyone to hear, said, "Mum, I don't need a tutu.
Oh.
I need a 4-4.
Oh, and then the audience clapped.
Where?
Exactly.
Thanks,
Oh!
Mum.
Oh, look at that photo. Can you see that?
Yeah. Good on her. Good on her.
Oh.
And although I didn't recognise it at the time, claiming space for myself in that glorious 4-4 was the first step towards becoming a radical fat activist.
Okay, if I was a fat kid and I'm doing
Hang on.
exercise.
Magda Zabansky.
Yeah.
Who's that other famous Hollywood lady?
The Australian woman. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But yes.
Yeah, right. They're, especially Magna Zebanski back in the day, was fat.
Yes.
So was the other one. Very successful.
Yeah, but they understand that they're fat.
Yeah.
They go, I still need to lose weight, but I'm making do with what I've got.
I'm bloody fat.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
We're men, we don't give a fuck. Let's continue.
Now, I'm not saying that this whole body love thing has been an easy skip along a glittering path of self-acceptance since that day in class. Far from it. I soon learnt that living outside what the mainstream considers normal can be a frustrating and isolating place.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there.
Being normal doesn't get you abnormal results. Don't be normal. Normal is very boring.
You know what? Look, I studied finance. I work in the government space. I do all this sort of thing. But I go to a metal show. Like, I've seen Metallica. I've seen Iron Maiden. And you know what? They are an outcast group from mainstream society. Like, they dress up, they put the leather jackets on, black jeans. Some people, some in the black metal group, they paint their faces, and it's a different subset. But you know what? You go there, you have a space to be that person for a little while.
Yeah.
And society doesn't accept you. And you know, if you walked around in a leather jacket, wore Metallica t-shirts, and I did that in my job, I absolutely would not be accepted. Mm. But in the metal...
But maybe you could
I'm
do
not,
it as an experiment.
But you know, I'm not asking people... I go to work, in this environment, I'm not going to be accepted like that. But I know in this environment I will. Like, I wouldn't go to a wedding dressed as a gorilla.
But you could.
I will. But... To your wedding, mate.
My wedding, dressed as a gorilla.
I've spent the last 20 years unpacking and deprogramming these messages, and it's been quite the roller coaster. I've been openly
mind you, she can't actually go on roller coasters, she's too fat.
laughed at, abused from passing cars, and been told that I'm delusional.
Okay. Is she delusional?
Look, I know where she's coming from. She's probably been bullied and picked on, and that sucks, right?
Yeah.
That sucks.
But you know, she was fat as a kid, right?
Yeah.
At that stage there, my parents would never have just given me heaps of junk food to eat.
Look, some people, there is a medical thing. Some people are just fat.
Oh yeah.
Right,
I said that early on.
Very, very
90% though can actually help
themselves,
you know.
Yeah. And being bullied and picked on or whatever, I mean, that sucks, and that reduces your self-esteem, and that causes problems, and I get that, right? But have you heard of acceptance and commitment therapy?
No, but please.
Right. It's something that we use, right, for someone who can't actually change something. So if someone lost a limb, right, you're not, maybe they can get an artificial limb or something like that, right? But you can't change the fact that your limb's gone.
Yeah.
It's a type of therapy that basically gets the person to accept that's a fact.
Yeah.
And how can we move forward?
Yeah. But that's the thing, that is a good way of using that therapy. Mm. She's done it as well for her lack of, her morbid obeseness, which is, I think, the most unhealthy thing you could do.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
I also receive smiles from strangers who recognise what it takes to walk down the street with a spring in your step and your head held high. Thanks. And
that's the only compliment she's ever gotten for that. That was a joke. It has to be a joke.
Through it all, that fierce little 6-year-old has stayed with me, and she has helped me stand before you today as an unapologetic fat person. A person that simply refuses to subscribe to the dominant narrative about how I should move through the world in this body of mine. And I'm not alone. I am part of an international community of people who choose to, rather than passively accepting that our bodies are, and probably always will be big, we actively choose to flourish in these bodies as they are today.
That's fine!
People who honour our strength and work with, not against, our perceived limitations. People who value health as something much more holistic than a number on an outdated BMI chart.
Okay. What? Okay, I'll give it to you. The BMI chart, wrong. That's fine. But your physical health is very much related to your mental health in many ways. Like, I find that if I exercise more and eat better and weight a healthier, like I'm going to put in inverted commas, weight, I think better, I sleep better, I'm a lot more clear, I feel like I'm a better person, and I act accordingly, like, I'm not slow, my brain isn't slow, I'm less sluggish at work, my output's better, I feel better coming home, whole bunch of things. I'm going to say it, I'm definitely more productive than this woman.
I don't get what her point is. This is you know what? I would be more impressed.
This is a terrible ad.
I would be more impressed if she came up on the stage and said, you know what? I'm fat, okay, and I've tried and things haven't worked, and I've been bullied and I've been, picked on, and it's terrible. But you know what? I'm over that. Like, that doesn't bother me. And these are my goals, and this is what I'm going to do, and it's
true. She's
do you know what I mean? To me, that I go, cool. I actually would have more respect for you.
She's just wrapped up this narrative of like, I'm a fat woman. This is how I accepted the way that I'm fat so far, and how is that going to help anybody else? And technically, it's not even helping her.
I think the message is there are children out there like her, like when she was young, who are probably being picked on and bullied and all that.
Yeah.
And for her to say, it doesn't really matter. You're strong. You're powerful. And you can have a great life.
But the message shouldn't be, you know what? Only be fat.
Yeah.
It should be like, that's great. And you know what? You're going to get picked on. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You can still achieve a lot. But do things to make yourself better.
Yeah.
And I think one of those things is getting to yourself to a healthy weight. And this goes back to the doctor
Actually,
thing.
it's not weight's an outcome.
Yeah.
It's a behaviour.
Yeah, healthy behaviours.
Healthy behaviours.
Yeah. I think it's like, people need... The word I always think of is discipline. Like, easy one. People always go to me, oh, you're such a talented musician. But what they just see the outcome of like me playing the show. They don't see me sitting in the room playing guitar scales as a kid for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
And though no one wants to sit through 50 hours of practice to see a 5-minute show.
Yeah.
But that's what the person who's doing the show does.
If you actually look at people who are really good at something, like really, 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 really good at something, they have put in so much effort.
Yeah.
So much effort behind the scenes into performing that skill and developing that skill. And it's also because they have potentially failed a lot.
Oh, yeah, you need to fail.
And have just picked themselves up and got over it and done it.
They've done the next level. They've done, and that's why like people go, oh, why do professional athletes get paid so much? Or why do musicians get paid so much?
Or why does a comedian... Someone might go, a comedian stands on a stage for an hour and makes so much money. But they're not realising that, like Jerry Seinfeld said, what was it? It took him 8 hours to write 1 minute of jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, something stupid like a minute of jokes that was actually funny.
Yeah.
But it's the same. It's like, a professional athlete like Cristiano Ronaldo, possibly the greatest soccer player of all time.
Yeah.
But there's stories of him even when he was like, just joining a club, like his first big club. It's like he was there before practice started, kicking balls into the net, and when everyone left to go go back to their families, he would still be there kicking the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah.
And it's the same for like Leo Messi and Pele and all those, and it's the same for musicians. It's the same for
abnormal results.
Yeah.
Sorry, normal behaviour doesn't get you abnormal results.
Exactly right.
You've got to have abnormal behaviour, yeah.
We're going really long on this, but you're enjoying it.
This might just be the fat special.
Yeah, maybe. All right. And then we'll do an article after this. We'll try to get longer
Instead,
clips.
we value mental health, self-worth, and how we feel in our bodies as vital aspects to our overall well-being.
So this person feels like a healthy, fit person.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see her actually do some sports. Like, she's fit and healthy. She can do it. Mentally, she can do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get into this. Get out of their bubble of Twitter and Facebook and all that, and go into the real world and see what she can do. Look, absolutely, she can stand on stage and breathe heavily and do a 12-minute talk. But can she play, 10 minutes of sport? Or go for a walk without dying of breath?
Don't know.
People who refuse to believe that living in these fat bodies is a barrier to anything, really. There are doctors, academics and bloggers who have written countless volumes on the many facets of this complex subject.
Bring us some in.
There are fashionistas who reclaim their bodies and their beauty by wearing fat bikinis and crop tops, exposing the flesh that we're all taught to hide. There are fat athletes who run marathons, teach yoga, or do kickboxing.
Fat athletes that run marathons.
I don't think so.
I would highly... Look, absolutely, probably do yoga. There's no way someone is fat and runs
42 kilometres.
42 kilometres.
You can't even run 42
No!
kilometres.
And I actually go running.
I know, yeah. Yeah, you need to do a lot of training.
Yeah, like probably need to do every single day for like 5 years to do a good marathon in a good time. Like in not even like elite level time. We're just talking like... And you need the body shape as well. Like, my legs aren't long legs.
This is the other thing, right?
Like, I'm never going to run... Look, this person's basically saying, I've got this fat body, but you can do anything. You, no matter how hard you train, work, do any diet, do whatever, you will never run as fast as Usain Bolt. Right?
Well, that's not the point. Our bodies, though, are designed in different...
Yeah.
Like I said, some of us really aren't designed to run.
No.
But we can walk.
Yeah.
Or we can swim. Or we can do other things.
Yeah.
All done with a middle finger firmly held up to the status quo. And these people have taught me that radical body politics is the antidote to our body shaming culture. But to be clear, I'm not saying that people shouldn't change their bodies if that's what they want to do. Reclaiming yourself can be one of the most gorgeous acts of self-love and can look like a million different things. From hairstyles to tattoos to body contouring to hormones to surgery and yes, even weight loss. It's simple. It's your body and you decide what's best to do with it. My way of engaging in activism is by doing all...
Okay, I taught a subject, health, behaviour and change.
Right.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is this woman is so wrong.
Alright, I just...
You're so frustrated.
I am. I taught this subject, health...
I was just thought we'd do some fat I just thought we'd do some fat women jokes. And you're here going, I need to get the science.
Health, behaviour and change. Okay. I'm very frustrated. So, week 1. I've got all the students.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm doing this with you. I want you to pick something that you want to change.
Yeah.
So, some students said, I want to reduce my smoking. Some said, I want to do... Mine was, I'm walking around the lake 3 times a week.
How good's that?
I said, this is my goal. And I'm doing it with you guys. But I want you to pick something that you want to work on. So, yeah, some said, I want to reduce smoking. Some said, I don't want to drink Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Someone said didn't want to bite his fingernails.
Yeah.
Right. So just these whole
just a
different
general
things,
sort of thing.
Different things. Right. And for 12 weeks we go through this, and then we check in at like week 3. How are you going with your goal?
And most of them have stopped. I would assume.
Most of them is which
it's
is
good
expected.
70% to 80%
Yeah,
would have
is
stopped.
Expected. And then it's about going. Well, was the goal actually realistic?
Yeah.
Could you actually achieve it? What are the barriers that actually get in your way? How do we overcome those potential barriers, right? And you like, and they go, oh yeah, maybe this is the goal. Oh, this is good. Or I want to change this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. Anyway, long story short, by the time we got to week 12, the students were so excited that they had actually figured out how to
achieve something.
How to actually achieve something.
Yeah.
And how to change, not necessarily change the benchmark, but They go, yeah. If I'm actually gonna do this goal,
it's like project.
I need to do it.
Yeah, it's like a project. You said like instead of having a scope that's so wide, you've got we're gonna really limit the scope of what you're trying to do, and then that way you can go. You know what? If we do these 5 things, that will lead to this goal needing to be done, and this goal, and that's it. Like a chain event. So do 5 things down to 2, down to 1, and then you succeeded. Yeah. Instead of having this, but that's only if you bring your scope in to something that's actually achievable.
That's right.
And that's what this person needs to do.
I would be more impressed if she said, you know what, I swim 20 kilometers and I started my training regime and I couldn't even do 100 meters.
But you know what? If she could be able to swim, even let's just say a K a day, she would not be this fat.
No.
All the things that we fatties aren't supposed to do, and there's a lot of them, inviting other people to join me and then making art about it. The common thread through most of this work has been reclaiming spaces that are often prohibitive to bigger bodies. From the catwalk to club shows, from public swimming pools to prominent dance stages.
Okay. 1, yes, fat women don't get on catwalks because no one wants to see a fat woman on a catwalk. And that's why, seriously, this is really what's happened. 2 things have happened. Victoria's Secret allowed fat people and trans women on the catwalk, and now they're not having a show. That's a real thing that's happened.
Yeah.
Right? 2, people don't care if fat people are dancing, but if you're at a strip club, you don't want to see a fat person. Yeah. There's a very limited scope of men, a very limited number of men want to see fat people on a strip club dancing. And everything else is like, who cares?
Yeah.
And reclaiming spaces en masse is not only a powerful artistic statement, but a radical community building approach. This was so true of Aquaporco, the Fat Femme synchronised swim team I started with a group of friends in Sydney. The impact of seeing a bunch of defiant fat women in flowery swimming caps and bathers throwing their legs in the air without a care should not be underestimated.
And that's why Sydney is worse than Melbourne. Kieran, would you like to give us an article?
There's still much more of a speech. And we're not even
I thought I'd just annoy our Sydney fan. Kieran, you got an article for us?
One Sydney fan. Turch, you like meat?
Yes.
How much do you like meat?
I would say if I had to eat it every day, even if it was killing the environment, and both of those things are currently true.
I'm actually going to talk how to solve climate change.
Okay, good.
But
kill all fat people.
But I know how to improve your meat and how to make it taste better. What's so funny?
It's just a euphemism, isn't it?
I know, it's deliberate. Hey, Dweezil. Dweezil, he's hearing about meat. He wants meat. I know how to improve Turch's meat, Jess. Yell out, Jess. Say hi to the listeners.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Oh, what a shit
We love
show.
you, Dweezil. And Jess. We love you too, Jess. Cows wearing VR headsets might produce better milk.
Yes! I'm in! Count me in!
An experiment was conducted to see whether they could reduce the anxiety and stress of the cows to produce better tasting milk. And the results are in. It's not just humans who can benefit from VR. That's virtual reality. Moscow area farmers strapped modified VR headsets to cows to see if it improved their mood and, of course, their milk production. The project subjected cattle to a simulated summer field with colours tuned for the animal eyes, giving them decidedly more pleasing landscapes than plain, confining farm.
This is the plot to The Matrix.
Just imagine cows with VR headsets.
This is the plot to The Matrix. Eventually we're going to just plug cows in into pods and like produce milk and meat, and just keep doing that. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait till we have cows living in virtual reality pods for my consumption. You know? And we collect the methane gas and use it to power windmills or something like that, the turbines.
Oh.
See? Next level virtual reality.
You could strap something onto the cow's butt to collect the gas.
I don't see why.
Yeah. That would solve climate change and we could eat meat.
There you go.
That's anyway, that article's done.
That's good. I've got one segment called the state. Okay, I didn't know what to call this segment because it's going to be rapid fire news.
Okay.
But it's called the state of journalism, or by Allah, you call this journalism, or I can't believe it's journalism. I kind of like by Allah, you call this journalism. Okay. Couple of news stories whipping around the world. UK police horse Jake refuses to get out of bed for work until he has a cup of tea.
I knew Jake.
Merseyside Police Station, Mounted Branch in Liverpool posted a photo of their police horse Jake having his tea before his day begins. He has his tea with skim milk to cool it down and 2 sugars. And they've put on more videos of the horse doing things. And one of them was the horse asleep, and then he passed gas and he woke himself up. So apparently some journalist made money to do that. Number 2, boy brings heroin to school and says it turns him into Spider-Man. And a father is now arrested after his 5-year-old son brought a bag of heroin labeled Spider-Man to school.
Did I talk about this last week, or did I bring it in and not talk about it?
Probably.
Yeah, all right. I read that article. That's hilarious.
The kid put the stuff in his mouth, telling the teachers it turned him into Spider-Man. They went to the father's home and they found 170 bags labeled Spider-Man and 38 of Coke. And finally, the ex-CEO of Papa John's has done the most amazing interview in the history of the world.
Better than Prince Andrew's?
Just as sweaty. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's been dropped now because he said the N-word on a conference call. And now he's fired because he stepped out. This is the latest thing. So he's been accepted. He owned the company, Papa John's. He owned it all.
Yep.
He started it all up.
Yeah.
Now someone's come into the company as the CEO who's never worked with pizza before.
Okay.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. Living currently in Mark Shapiro should be in jail. He has no pizza experience. He's never been in the pizza category. I would just say, stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
Okay. Did you catch that?
No.
He had 40 pizzas in 30 days.
Yeah, well, that was the ex-CEO?
Ex-CEO.
Ex-CEO.
He's been eating the new Papa John's pizza and going, it's not as good. The day of reckoning is coming.
All right.
40 pizzas in 30 days. I was just thinking to myself, that was actually me when I went to Italy.
I thought I heard that correct. But I thought that was the new CEO. I was like, what?
No. Ex-CEO. All right, Kieran.
All right, how are we going to solve climate change?
This is something that's been brought up many times here. And I think the trick is just to kill the fat feminists, obviously.
Obviously. Crypto miners in Georgia consume 10% of the entire nation's power. Because it's so hot there, they actually give out free electricity in Georgia.
Right.
Which means a number of companies have now moved their offices or production there, including crypto miners.
Right.
Who are now using 10% of the nation's electricity.
That's amazing.
And crypto mining is now, we couldn't crypto mine. We don't have,
No.
we need fucking...
You need like 50 million computers or something. I think ages and ages ago, the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 was like the most powerful computer you could buy.
Yeah.
So people were buying like 10s or 20 of them because that was so cheap. And using them as the computers to crypto mine.
Crypto mine, yeah. So that's pretty exciting.
So that's how we're going to stop climate change.
That is how we're going to stop climate change.
Okay. We're going to crypto mine more.
No, we're going to crypto mine. Let's stop crypto mining. Stop crypto mining.
No.
Use the fiat currency.
No!
Right. Life is good.
All I'm going to say is I just saw something recently that the Australian government are potentially in the future going to get rid of any transactions over $10,000 or more has to be digital and no more cash transactions of over 10 grand.
Oh yeah, they want to get rid of the drugs. The underworld.
I'm not for that at all, because that just means if you want to buy someone's car secondhand,
We've got to.
yeah,
It's got to be a record.
yeah. I
I'll,
don't like
I'll pay you in $10,000 or more.
I just want a $10,000 note with my face on it. Put it on my wall.
Great. That would be pretty epic.
That'd be amazing.
That would be not too bad.
No, I think we can definitely solve climate change. I mean, look, it's the first day of summer here in Australia.
It is.
Melbourne, beautiful.
It rained.
It rained. It fucking bucketed down. I don't know anymore. I don't know. People saying that, like, someone blamed the fires in Sydney on gay marriage.
Well, Israel Folau.
Yeah, that's the one. What? That's his freedom of religious expression.
Oh, you know Margaret Court?
Yeah, she hates the gays.
Yeah, she's coming to Melbourne. She's been invited to the Australian Open to celebrate her
good.
50th year. But the Australian Open given her a backhand and said we disagree with her opinions and said that she's going to be involved in a number of events and presentations. She is going to get heckled and booed.
That's fine. No one can deny what
The
she did for
entire
the sport.
Australian Open.
Look, and I think that's what something's very important to do. You can still like someone's output of body of work, like a musician, someone who makes video content, whatever, despite their political or views on other things.
No, I know, absolutely, whatever. Good on her. But I'm like, is she an idiot? Because she's going to come to Melbourne, and she's just going to be booed.
No, I think this is the best thing to do.
I think it's great too.
I'll tell you why, and you tell me why you think this later on. But I think this is the best thing to do because this just shows that the people who are for gay marriage and all that sort of stuff, and I'm for gay marriage, all that sort of stuff, fine. I think that she's just showing how intolerant they are.
Yeah.
Rather than she.
Who?
The people who are against her belief. I mean, if you said that to a Muslim person, because most Muslims say, we don't like the gays.
Yeah.
They also don't like the Jews.
Yeah.
But if you were to do that to that, they wouldn't, if she turned Muslim, they wouldn't say anything about it.
Who?
Margaret Court.
Ah, they would.
You reckon?
Yeah. I would anyway.
Well, but that's it. We're just like, no, your view on this is terrible. But they're only doing it because she's Christian.
I don't care about that. She's going to come to Melbourne, right? And I see, right, Turch, if I said, oh, by the way, there's going to be 50,000 people for the next 10 days. Each day you have to present, the award or the winning or the trophy or something like that. And you knew you were going to walk out onto that stage and get booed and heckled.
So I think it would be funny. I would actually enjoy it.
Yeah, you would.
It'd be funny.
You would. I would too.
But you know what? That even makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Because if she's presenting awards, and people are booing her,
but
while she's giving out awards, they're not respecting
her. They'll boo her as she walks onto the stage, or they announce, welcome.
That lingers.
Welcome, Margaret. Right?
That lingers. No, that lingers. That'll ruin the whole.
I don't
whole
think
event.
they'll boo the giving of the award to the person, but they'll boo when they announce her like she's sitting in the crowd.
It's true. Yeah, well, it's funny. I just watched last night the film Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Which is the film. Jim Carrey stars in it, and he stars as like Andy Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy Kaufman fucked with people all the time. Have you ever seen any of his stand up?
No.
One of the things that he did was he would go around and be really misogynistic and wrestle women.
Right.
And at the end he ended up wrestling a Texan state owner because he was saying all the people in the South are fucking hicks and blah, 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 and the women are weak. I can wrestle any woman here. And the guy actually power drived him and injured him with. And then he went on Letterman. They went on Letterman together, and they had another fight on Letterman.
Oh.
And then you find out oh no, everyone was in on it the whole time. except for the audience.
Oh, boo!
Not even Letterman was in on it.
Yeah, right.
Like, just the two guys.
Yeah.
But that's the funny thing.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Or he makes up this character called Tony Clifton, who's a lounge singer.
Yeah.
But then he's like, oh, Tony Clifton, one of the characters that Andy Kaufman wrote got a TV show. And he played that character, right? But then he's like, oh, Tony Clifton also needs to be on the show, 5 appearances. But Tony Clifton's the same guy as Andy Kaufman. Mm-hmm. But then there's this one show that Tony Clifton does, and then Andy Kaufman comes on stage at the same time.
Oh, how does that happen?
Yeah, and that's the thing. People are, what the fuck? I thought they were the same person. Like, you hire
Hired an actor.
You hire Andy Kaufman, comedian, musician, whatever. And what do you get? You hire Tony Clifton. You're thinking you get Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman comes in on the side as someone different. And even when after he died, so Andy Kaufman passes away from cancer, and that a year after that he died, Tony Clifton comes and does a show.
Whoa!
And it's like meant to fuck with your head, like the whole point. I think that's really, really funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny. Turch, can you give us one more joke?
Oh, let's do a joke to wrap it up. Let's have a go here.
This is the crap jokes. 100 crap jokes.
Oh, you know what I didn't talk about?
What?
I was on Karaok Big E.
Oh, yeah!
I was
All
on
right, hang on a second. Before you tell that joke, I've started listening to that episode, but you're not on the first 5 minutes, so I tuned out.
I'm in the last 15 to 20 minutes.
All right,
so
I'll
check
go to
that
there.
out there. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The guys are really fantastic. I would highly recommend go listening to them. If you like a bit of karaoke, a bit of banter, this and that. The funny thing was, the day I recorded it with them, it was the day after everyone was over for my birthday.
That's right.
I was so hungover. So I sounded a bit like an idiot, and that's absolutely fine. I didn't get to sing a song, but a bit of a lag with Skype, so this and that. So they said what we should do, what I said to them is we should record a song and just us doing some karaoke and
we'll send it to them.
Exactly right. So have a chat after this, have an idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were fantastic. Definitely go check out their show. They're doing a great stuff over there now.
So we're going to do Waltzing Matilda. I'd love to have a beer with Duncan.
You know what? We should give them like the most Australian song. Like they're gonna know Man Down Under or something.
Yeah.
But let's give them an Australian classic.
Yeah.
I think that'd
Star
be
Trucker.
perfect.
Yeah. Maybe some Western.
Maybe some Western.
Yeah.
All right.
Lights on the Hill.
Lights on the Hill. We'll just give them a bit of Down Under. That's
Or we could Australianize Kanye West.
Look, I'm not going to do any gospel songs with you doing that voice. And with that, I think we're going to end it up on this joke here. What's the award for being the best dentist? A little plaque. That's just not bad. And with that, Kieran... This has been a fucking shit show of an episode. And with that, Kieran, I think we're going to wrap it up. With all your wanking needs, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow us.
On iTunes, SoundCloud...
Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and
YouTube,
and Facebook. And if you'd like to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, record it on your phone and email us at
weonlydowonetake@gmail.com.
Kieran, thank you so much for another fantastic episode.
That's all right.
And we will see you all
next Thursday.
Karaok Big E was they're like asking me about Australian animals.
Oh, really?
They're like, oh, have you ever seen a kangaroo? And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course they're going to ask this. That's fine. And then at the end, they're asking me about wallabies, why their poo's square, and koalas. And lucky I have some factoids in my head. And then I'm just like, you do realize, like, I've come on the show. I'm not like a biologist or anything like that. I'm actually an accountant. So it was good times. I highly recommend it.
I used to live on a farm.
Oh,
I could have told them all about the kangaroos.
That's true.
Could have told them about kangaroo meat. It's a bit chewy, kangaroo meat.
It's nice though.
It's all right.
Maybe we'll have some for New Year's.
Yeah, camel burgers as well.
I've never had camel.
Good. Just try it.